Hello grade 11, welcome again with you Mrs. Minna Raouf, your chemistry teacher. Today we will continue chapter 20, the chemical reactions and energy, and section 3, photosynthesis process. First, you must know that all organisms need energy to survive, and the main source of energy for Earth is the sun. And sun energy must be captured as a chemical energy so that living thing can use it. So, the main source of energy for Earth is the sun. Now let's talk about the photosynthesis process. The photosynthesis process is the process of converting the sun's light energy to chemical energy for use by cells. Plants and other photosynthetic organisms have at least one obvious characteristic in common. They all are green, and the green color is from the color of the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll absorbs light and changes it into chemical energy, triggering complex series of changes that together make up the photosynthesis process. So, the photosynthesis process is made by the chlorophyll in plant. This is a picture for a plant cells under the microscope, and this is the structure of the chloroplast that contains the chlorophyll. The photosynthesis occurs inside the pigmented organelles called the chloroplast, and the chloroplast contain the light-absorbing green pigment, the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll located on tracts of membranes called the grana. This is the grana. This is the membrane called the grana, and this is where we found the chlorophyll. Sugar molecules are synthesized in the stroma, which is a liquid surrounding the grana. So we have here a liquid surrounding the grana called a stroma. So this is the structure of the chloroplast, which have the chlorophyll inside the grana, and the stroma is the liquid surrounding the grana where the sugar molecules are synthesized. The chemistry of photosynthesis. The photosynthesis is a series of reactions in which the green plants and some other organisms manufacture carbohydrates from carbon dioxide and water, using the energy from the sunlight. And the net reaction that is carried out of the photosynthesis is one that produces simple sugars and oxygen gas from carbon dioxide and water. And this is the chemical reaction that represents the photosynthesis process, where we have here carbon dioxide, CO2, plus H2O, the water molecule, give us C6H12O6 plus O2, this is the molecule, this is the oxygen molecule. And C6H12O6, this is the formula represents the glucose, and the glucose is one of simple sugar. The photosynthesis process is divided into two basic series of reactions: the light reactions and the Kelvin cycle. So let's show together what's the difference between the light reactions and the Kelvin cycle that include the photosynthesis process. First, the light reactions. This diagram shows how the light reaction occurs. When light reaches a chlorophyll molecule, the energy of the light is absorbed, and the energy excites electrons in the molecule. A high energy electron is released from the chlorophyll to and transferred to its energy to a molecule of ADP. This is the high electron energy, and it's transferred from the chlorophyll to its energy molecule of ADP, and the ADP is adenosine diphosphate. That causes the ADP to bond a third phosphate to form ATP. So the ADP, when has high energy electron, it causes to bond to a third phosphate to form the ATP, and the ATP is adenosine triphosphate. ADP is adenosine diphosphate, but the ATP is adenosine triphosphate. and the electron lost by the chlorophyll in the first step are restored to it by a reaction in which water is split into oxygen and hydrogen ions, and the oxygen is released into the atmosphere and can later be used by organisms including you for the respiration process. After that, the newly released electron involved in another reaction, which forms an important coenzyme called NADPH. So, NADPH is a coenzyme that is formed from NADP plus and from hydrogen ions that was free in the area breakdown of water. So, this electron help to form NADPH, which is formed from the NDP plus and the hydrogen molecule that free from the water molecule. After that, the NADPH and the ATP that formed as a result of the first absorption of energy continue to the second series of photosynthesis reaction, the Kelvin cycle. So the NDPH and the ATP is going to go another series of reaction that called Kelvin cycle. Kelvin cycle. Once the light reactions have produced the ATP and the NADPH, the second series of photosynthesis reaction can occur. And Kelvin cycle take place in the stroma of the chloroplast. The carbon dioxide taken in from the surrounding makes use of ATP and NADPH from the light reactions, as well as carbon dioxide taken from the surrounding. Simple sugars such as glucose are produced. In the Kelvin cycle, ATP turns back into ADP. So ATP turns back into ADP. Adenosine diphosphate, this is ATP, and provide energy for a series of reactions. First, NADPH lose a hydrogen ion and become NADPH positive again. And the hydrogen ion from NADPH together with another hydrogen ion produced during the light reactions provide a hydrogen for the synthesis of the sugar, and the carbon and oxygen for the sugars are provided mainly by the carbon dioxide. So, how the sugar is formed? It's formed from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So the carbon and oxygen is from the carbon dioxide from the air, and the hydrogen is from the decomposition of NADPH and give the H positive ion, and the H positive ion from the light reactions. This is the formation of the sugar. So, in the Kelvin cycle, the ATP turns back into ADP and provides the energy for a series of reactions, and the NADPH lose a hydrogen ion and become NADPE plus again, and the hydrogen ions produced during the light reactions provide the hydrogen to synthesize the sugar, and the carbon of oxygen for sugars are provided mainly by the carbon dioxide. Energy and the food web. Photosynthesis process is the ultimate process for chemically storing the energy that all organisms in the food web need. You could thus describe photosynthesis process as the entry point of energy for life on Earth. First, the sun is a source of energy, and the photosynthesis process is the capture of it and make the life possible. Like when this tree absorbs the sunlight and making its food by the photosynthesis process, and after that, when plant-eating animals such as caterpillar consume the livers of this tree, they can break down the energy storage molecules in those leaves to realize energy for their own life's function. And then, When meat-eating animals, such as kinds of birds, consume the plant's ether, they make use of the energy that was stored in their prey. So this is an example for the food web, and you know the food web consists of energy, producers, consumers, and decomposers. Now we have finished chapter 20. I hope you understand the chapter well, and don't forget your homework. Please check LMS and answer worksheet 2 and send it to me on الواحة American Science Homework at gmail.com. Thank you. Bye bye.